Dig it. Hello. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jake Johnson, and this is the live stream Untethered. Welcome. How are you? I say, can you hear me out there? Hello. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Jake Johnson. This is Untethered Live Chill Stream on Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday. I'm not even sure. I'm just kind of floating in and out. Wherever the winds blow, that's where I head. How are you doing? How's the weather where you are? What does your income tax look like? I'm just saying. It's a Twinkie and a Duke for you know who. That's what's happening today. And anything else that you would like? I know there's somebody watching me. I kind of feel like I'm being watched. That's okay. I don't mind being watched. I'm a little freaky like that. It is Wednesday, and it's been a beautiful day. I worked today. Good, long, hard day's work. Never hurt nobody. Puts hair on your chest. Makes you feel like you've done something with your life. Got paid. Little jangle in my pocket. Going jangle-lang-a-lang. And then it goes right out. It's like I'm throwing it at bills. They should pay me in softballs. I think I'd enjoy that. Take that, light bill. Anyway, let's see who's here so far. Everybody's here. All right. Excellent. I'm here and tomorrow's guest panel. Are you doing two things at once? Is that what you're saying? Hey, Darlene, how are you? Glad to see you. That's odd. My analytics says there's nobody here, but there's more than one person talking to me at the very moment. I think the numbers are wrong. If you sense my hesitation, it's because I thought I was talking to an empty room, but now that you've spoke, how are you? Good to see you. Glad to be in front of somebody. Today's an interesting day. Nothing interesting happened. It's just an interesting day. You know, some days are just more interesting than others. I'm good. How are you? Hey, Squatch. I think Sasquatch is busy on another thing. He's popping back and forth, I think. Or something like that. That's what I'm gathering anyway. I ate a hamburger this afternoon. And tonight, I'm going to top it off with a tasty treat of nondescript location and name. And wash it down with some nondescript invisible beverage. And I'm doing that all in honor of you. Because what kind of a person can't raise their cholesterol for another person? I think that made sense. I've been watching this show on, I believe it comes on Apple. I'm not exactly sure. But it's called Get Back. It's a documentary about the Beatles. It's done by Peter Jackson, the guy that did Lord of the Rings trilogy. And it's quite interesting. It's basically the Beatles at band practice. They're setting up, getting ready for a show, and they're trying to write some new songs for recording purposes. It's a very interesting documentary. You get to see really behind the scenes how it really works. And you'd think that the Beatles, the biggest band in history, would be different. But it's just like being in my band. Same bickering, same problems, same drama. It's exactly the same. There's no difference at any level. Hey, April. So I can tell you, from my garage or from Pinewood Studios or Abbey Road, it doesn't matter. It's the same shit. Peter Jackson is good. Hey, what's up, Diego? Well, we got a party now. The biggest band was the Beatles. Yeah, they were pretty bad. But like I said, same drama. No different. Watching them rehearse is like watching me rehearse. I've recorded my rehearsals. It's the same thing. They pair up in twos. They bicker about the other guy. The guitar player's playing too much. Same shit. Anyway, I thought it was interesting that at the height of their fame, that they could be no different than just any old garage band. Hello, all. How are you, Jake? I'm good, surprisingly. I can't say that I've got any complaints. I have a Ringo Starr, by the way. He's been with me about 20 years. My Ringo is named Mango, oddly enough. But he's my Ringo. He even sounds like Ringo. One day, it won't be long, one day I've got a box full of thousands of hours of my shows. Just everywhere. From little clubs to big, I wouldn't say arenas, but, big clubs. Little clubs to big clubs. And just everything in between. And one day, I'm going to convert some of that to digital and put it on the stream. And I think you guys will get a kick out of that. Have you seen it, Diego? Are you watching Get Back? Because, yeah, it's what it is. The Beatles broke up. Everybody knows that. But this is right before they broke up. They're having interpersonal drama, but they're still together. And they're getting ready to do one of their last shows as the Beatles. And they're going to film it, make a documentary about filming it, do a TV special, and release a book and a CD or a record all at the same time, like a package, and then do a live show to promote it. That's what their plan is. And so this is them writing all new songs and getting ready for that show and doing the recording sessions. And it is a barrel of laughs. If you're a musician, if you're not a musician or not a musician enthusiast, you probably will hate it because it's boring. But if you've been in that world and you know what you're looking at, it's the most exciting stuff going on. Anyway, you saw the movie yesterday. You saw Get Back, April? It's 3 movies, 3 hours each. So it would have took all day if you watched it. Hey, Kev. Good to see you, man. I had an epiphany this morning. I didn't even realize it. I was working, and I looked at the calendar, and it said December 1st, and I didn't realize it was already December. My birthday's in 9 days. I had no idea. I'm on the way, babe. I'm on the way, babe. I'm on the way, babe. I'm on the way. Yeah. Anyway, it's a great movie. I think you like it. So if you get a chance to see Get Back, go see it. You just said I saw it yesterday, and now you're saying, no, I don't think I seen it. What did you see yesterday? But it was about the Beatles. It must be like their anniversary or something. or somebody's birthday. Because there's a documentary about Paul McCartney out. The Beatles Get Back is out, and now there's something else that you just saw that was out. So it must be like Beatles month. Hang on a second. I need to open a door. I'll be right back. And I'm back. That didn't take long. Anyway. Oh, yesterday. The movie yesterday. You need to be more specific. It just hit me. No, the movie yesterday is not about the Beatles. It's about a dude that travels back in times and then pretends to write all the Beatles songs because he lives in a universe that the Beatles don't exist in. Yeah. See, we thought about it at the same time because I read that as a sentence. Yesterday was about not yesterday in quotes. Here's a tip when writing. Always assume that the reader cannot read your mind. You have to spell it out. You have to be redundant. You can't just say what's on your mind because I can't hear what's in your head. Or the reader can't. Whoever's reading whatever it is you're writing. Good tip. Yeah, I saw yesterday the movie. It was okay, but it was like an indie movie. Indie as in independent, not Indian. Although there was an Indian in it. I made it funny. I'm doing fine, Diego. How are you, sir? I've had a good day, surprisingly. I worked all day, but I'm home now and I'm with friends. What else can a man want? I was watching that Beatles thing right up to 5 minutes before airtime, so I'm kind of into it at the moment. That's what's on my mind. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was a communist, actually. If you don't believe me, just think about the words of that song, Imagine. Just think about what those words mean. It's not a good song. It's a horrible song. But it's really catchy. Yep, see? Anyway, I've never been a Beatles fan, but I am a musician and I appreciate musician stuff, so I'm enjoying this documentary. Oh, I'm just giving you a hard time, April. You ought to know that by now. So, I'm not a very big Beatles fan. I don't really care for any of their music. That last group of songs that they did was pretty good. I'll give them that. That last album they did. Identical, I've probably seen it. That sounds like something I've seen, but I'm not sure who's in it. I may have already seen that. Hmm. Can y'all hear that air raid horn going off? I think we're getting bombed. Yeah, do watch Get Back if you get a chance. I don't think it comes on YouTube, but I got it from other means. So I think it's an Apple TV thing. I'll look and see what company put it out and get back to you on that. I'm a huge Beatles fan and loved the movie yesterday. It was awesome. Yes, it was all right. It's a great story, kind of like Elvis. Well, I mean, the guy lied and said he wrote all those songs he didn't write. But yeah, I guess that's kind of like Elvis. Imagine is the worst song I've ever heard. Yet any people say it has some awesome lyrics. It does have a nice melody and beat, but horrible lyrics. Lennon was an atheist. Yes, he was. I think they all are. Well, no, because George Harrison was into Hare Krishna. He was one of those Hindu type. When they went to India, he fell for all that stuff. So maybe, but Lennon was definitely an atheist. And I don't know about Ringo or Paul. Paul may be a Christian. Don't know. Don't know, as the drinker would say. I wouldn't go that far. He's no saint. He was a communist, though. Hey, Nine Dimes, what's happening, brother? Sister? Whatever you are. Whatever you want to be. Yep, my sweet Lord. That's because Hare Krishna doesn't have anything that rhymes with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the moment you've all been waiting for. A delicious, tasty treat of nondescript origin. And an invisible beverage of the same origin. All of it. I don't have the lyrics in front of me, man. It's just a communist song. That's delicious. Don't you wish you had one? Oh, yeah. I think I've seen that. If not, I've seen one like it. There's like 8 movies with the same exact uh, plot. Kind of like Parent Trap, I think. Isn't that the movie where the 2 twin girls switch places? No, that might be a different one. Barry Brishner rhymes. In Greek, that means the great squatch. Mm. That Elvis and his twin were born in the 30s, and times were tough back then. And the parents. No, Diego, I did not hear what was going on in the Supreme Court. Fill me in. I mean, I may have. I hear lots of things. And gave one of the boys to his preacher and his wife. If I haven't seen it, I've seen one like it. And if I haven't seen it, I'll go watch it. Because I love a good movie. And they don't make a lot of those anymore. Oh, there's a hearing that could mean the end of Roe v. Wade. Hey, whatever, man. I think that the victory is in the fact that the lady that's from that lawsuit converted, recanted everything she said, and gave her life to God, and has spent the last 40 years being a Christian. There's the victory. Doesn't matter what they do with the case. They puffed it up anyway. They talked that poor girl into doing that to start with. Mazel tov. But I did not know that that was back in the Supreme Court. No, I didn't. His calling was music also. Interesting. Good evening, Cheese Bear. You're just in time to watch me enjoy this tasty treat of nondescript origin. And you're not late. We were all early. She couldn't have a child of her own, so one of the twins took on music. The other, the preacher, wanted his son to follow in his steps, but ... dot, dot, dot. So he ran away from home and joined the circus? Identical. I'll get it. I'll watch it tonight. Maybe. Let's see how late I can stay up. There it is, folks. A Twinkie and a do for you know who. Ain't it lovely? A little breath freshener. Don't want to smell like a Twinkie all night. How are you, Cheese Bear? How's your day going? Are you feeling spry and ready to fight? We were just talking about a documentary about the Beatles called Get Back, done by Peter Jackson, the director that did Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Caucasian. Well, you'll get through that no problem. It's Bourbon Wednesday. Is that anything like Bourbon Tuesday or Monday? Or Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday? Only thing will make that better is a big old fat cigar, which I'm fresh out of. I smoked my last one last week. Wednesdays are always wonderful. You know why? Because of the chill stream, baby. Nobody's having more fun, I guarantee it. It's a blast. Has everybody got their Christmas shopping done? Jesus. I ain't even halfway through. And I'm only buying for 2 people. Not stressed out like other days, huh? Well, I know how it is. Life can be stressful. Sometimes your boss man can come in from lunch and just have an attitude and chew you out for no reason. And you can just swallow it back because you like the job. And you think to yourself, nobody talks to me like that. Not even my mama would talk to me like that. Why would I let this guy talk to me like that? But on the other hand, he basically gave me a car and let me pay for it at my leisure, and he hired me when I didn't have a job. So maybe I'll just let him have an attitude and keep my mouth shut. Maybe that's the right thing to do here, as opposed to snatching a knot in somebody's ass. Oh, did I let that get away from me? Sorry. Hey, Caucasian Sasquatch. I thought I smelled something funny. Are you doing a stream right now, Sasquatch? Good thinking, Jake. I knew it was the right call. Sometimes people just have an attitude. It ain't no skin off my back. Don't mean nothing. I get paid the same way either way. I was on my next guest's stream. I hear you. Well, I'm glad you're with us now. I'd rather be an afterthought than no thought at all. Say hello to Cheese Bear, would you? But, did you die? At the Extreme Warriors Rub Down? Mud Run? Rub Down. That's where my mind is. You ever feel like you got a bone in your tooth? I just ate a Twinkie. Shouldn't be any bones in it. I thought I got all of them out of it. Get back. Man, that song is stuck in my head firmly, like a tick on an old mule deer. She didn't want you to apologize to her. She wanted you to say hello. I'm also trying to make this picture into a thumbnail for tomorrow's show. I'm just trying to learn you. I'm on it, says Kevin. Is that Believe It or Not? Yeah, I think that's what you meant. Get Back is a 3-part series. Yes, it is. The Disney Channel. You got it. That's right. That's what it is. Damn, the Mouse is a Beatle fan. Well, they may not be a fan, but they're definitely cashing in. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate it, because I could not remember who put that out. But yes, it's 3 parts. Each part is 3 hours long. So if you watch it, be prepared to sit down for a minute, because it'll last. But it really sucks you in. It don't feel like 3 hours. Hello, Cheesy. Sorry, my tism is on me right now. I think that's a euphemism. It's gregariously loquacious. A gregariously loquacious euphemism. I want to grab my guitar and start singing. I wish I could. It's getting better, though. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but the bottom end of my voice is coming back a little. It's feeling stronger. Maybe another 6 months and I'll be able to sing again. I can feel it trying to mend. It just hasn't mended yet. Jake, I had to look it up in the Urban Dictionary. Thank you for learning me Caucasian Sasquatch. You're welcome. Hey, we got a sports update. I hit the wrong button. Sorry. Georgia Bulldogs plays Alabama Communist Tideless Idiots at 4 o'clock on Saturday. Go Dogs! I expected to have a full report Sunday. Back to you, Diego. Hopefully Roe v. Wade will be overturned, says Diego. Hopefully. Thank you, Cheese Bear. I do too. Kind of hard to shake your moneymaker when your moneymaker ain't working. Roll Tide. You see, I don't know if you heard or not, but I got COVID back in September-ish, just before they started talking about it on the news. I got really sick, and I thought I was going to die, honestly. Thought there was something really wrong. And I was sick for about 5 months total, on and off. It just kind of hung around. It wasn't very bad. It just stayed there, you know. I felt like off, like I hadn't drank my V8, you know. Weak, tired all the time, out of breath, couldn't talk. And then I got better, but my voice never came back. And so here I am. But it feels like it wants to, you know. The child sacrifice has to end. I agree. Me too, Jake, what Cheese Bear said. Thank you, April, and Cheese Bear. I don't know what roll tide means, but I agree. I know you were talking about the one before it, but I was just joking. Anyway, anybody seen the film The Outsiders from 1983? Yes. I saw it in the 7th grade after reading the novel. Interesting. Long-term COVID. That's something. It just wouldn't go away. I know that. I really thought I was gonna die. I thought that was the end. I thought the big C had me, but it wasn't. It was just COVID. And I guess because it was an early case, it was a strong case. And instead of getting really sick, I just got kind of sick for a long time. The biggest fear I have is the turncoats in the Republican side of the Supreme Court that will side with the left. Well, you know they're going to. Cheese Bear's got you back. She says she prays so. Diego. It's disgusting to murder babies. Sea Bear and Squatch the Magnificent. That sounds like a TV show from the 50s. Disgusting indeed. Well, I tell you what. I think there's no chance in hell they're going to let that happen. But should they, I think it would be a vast improvement in the world. I got you. Roll Tide's a sports thing. That's why I didn't understand. Got it. Republicans in name only are my biggest fear. Really, I don't like spiders. Roll Tide means big shysters of logs. Kevin, you're a dork. That's the latest news. Back to you, Bob. Yep. I would love to get out there and start recording right now. I've got an album's worth of songs that I've written. I'd like to play some of them for you, but I don't have any of them recorded, and I can't sing them to you right now. So, what is my opinion about Amy Barrett? I don't have an opinion about her. I don't know anything about her. Isn't that the one that Trump put forth? Seemed to me like she did a couple things that were against Trump after she got in, if that's the one I'm thinking about. I despise spiders, but I don't fear them despite my allergy. Well, I don't know how they are where you are, but I've got one downstairs on my porch that's the size of my hand. And that some bitch can have the porch, if you know what I'm saying. I ain't gonna fight him. Okay, that answered my question. She is a disappointment. Yeah, it seems like she got in after Trump appointed her, and then she did a few things against him. Does anyone know the cast of The Outsiders? It's a film about the greasers and the socks, which takes place in the 60s. I've seen the movie, but I can't remember who was in it. Seems like Kevin Bacon and Matt Dillon were in it. But I could be wrong. If you have spider scorpion spray, wow. Her decisions are not conservative. Patrick Swayze is in The Outsiders. I have seen it, but it's been a long time ago. It's like in the early 90s, late 80s when I saw it. I have a rather eclectic taste in movies. I have excellent taste, don't get me wrong. I know a great movie when I see one, and if I tell you to watch one, you'll love it. because it's a good movie. But ones that I like, that I would actually like rewatch, very eclectic. I'm into the thinker movies. I like movies that after you watch them, you stay awake for 3 or 4 hours just thinking about it, going, what the hell did that mean? You know, I'm into that kind of thing. We have a pretty stellar cast. Many actors made their debut there. What format is a thumbnail? I would use PNG and make it very small, like 300 by 400. Ralph Macchio. I like that movie he was in, Crossroads. C. Thomas Howell, Ralph Macchio. Now you see, that kind of shit annoys me. I distinctly remember you asking who the cast of that movie was, and you clearly know who the cast of that movie was. Don't do that. Ask questions you don't know the answer to. And Matt Dillon. I knew he was in that movie. And that's pretty much all of them. That's why I didn't remember who was in it, because they were all in it. Emilio Estevez was in that movie? I didn't realize that. And About Last Night. The Outsiders. Yep, that's the movie we're talking about, Caucasian. I'm surprised Charlie Sheen wasn't in it. He's in every movie back then. The Brat Pack. Yeah. The Patriot. That was a good movie. Great movie. Pretty much anything that Mel Gibson's in, except for $1 Million Hotel. That was a dud. And Dragged Across Concrete. Also a dud. Everything else, excellent. It's not that Dragged Across Concrete was a bad movie. It was just a slow burn. Very slow. Yeah, you know, in the 60s they had the Rat Pack. And in the 80s they had the Brat Pack. And now they've got the Trans Pack. Have you seen the pictures of uh, Elliot Page? They should be censored. Who is your favorite Beatle? Beetlejuice. Yeah, I love Mel Gibson, and anything he directs is excellent. All of his movies are good. Anything he acts in is excellent too, pretty much. Like I said, except for $1 Million Hotel. That was a horrible movie. Don't waste your money on that one. I think he owed somebody a favor. It's the only reason he was in that movie. Dragged Across Concrete was a good movie, but it's not Mel Gibson's style. It's like a buddy cop movie, except they're criminals. Or trying to be. It's him and uh Can't think of the guy's name now. One of those guys that was in the Wedding Crashers. Not Owen Wilson, the other guy. Can't think of his name. Big eyes, talks a lot. Anyway, it's a good movie. It just could have been somebody else in the role. It's not a Mel Gibson movie. I'd like to see Willem Dafoe do another movie. He probably will. He does a lot of movies. I'm not a big Willem Dafoe fan, but he's not a bad actor. John Lennon is your favorite Beatle? Mine's got to be Ringo. Didn't used to be. I used to hate Ringo, but I've learned to appreciate him. He's the only guy that kept his mouth shut through the whole thing, and every song they played, he was right on the money every time. He had the beat fully formed, ready to go. No drama, just played whatever they wanted him to play. That's a lot to be appreciative about there. Other than that, it would be Paul McCartney. You haven't seen any movies where Mel Gibson is the bad guy? Well, then you need to see. Hold on, let me think of it. Just came out. It's about the guy that keeps dying every day. What is the name of that movie? Kevin, what's the name of that movie that Mel Gibson's in where he's the bad guy? About the guy that dies every day. Has to figure out a way to stop dying. I can't think of it. Anyway, he's a bad guy in that movie. It may be his only one, though. We'll get to the bottom of this. I have CRS. It's a serious condition. Can't remember shit. Let's look at IMDb and see what it says. Don't let me down. Mel Gibson film list, IMDb. Don't let me down. That would be Ringo Starr. Even though Paul McCartney probably got credit for it. Or McCartney Lennon. Ringo Starr wrote the Octopus song, though. Clearly. And I have the video evidence to prove it. What was the first movie that Mel Gibson was ever in? There's your trivia question. The answer coming up next. Ba, 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 ba. What? That's crappy. IMDb is only listing movies that Mel Gibson starred in. Mel Gibson is the bad guy. He's the bad guy in the movie Machete Kills. He's a bad guy in Expendables 3. That's not the movie I'm thinking of, though. Hang on, I'm looking. It just came out last year. The first movie he was ever in is I Never Promised You a Rose Garden. That's the answer to the trivia question. Now let's see if we can find a film list. Ba-da-ba-da. Boss Level. That's the name of the movie. Boss Level. He's a bad guy in that. Now I gotta scroll up and see what I missed in the chat. All right. My thing will not scroll. I saw something about underwear. Heck with it. I'll just read it later. My favorite song is Yesterday, says April, and Long and Winding Road. My favorite song is Don't Let Me Down. Don't let me down. Don't let me down. Yes, Ringo wrote and sang that song. Yes, he did. You're boomering a thumbnail? That's interesting. Mel Gibson's first movie was I Never Promised You a Rose Garden, followed up by Summer City. And somewhere after that was Mad Max. You know what I think? Nothing. I think probably my favorite movie that Mel Gibson ever directed was The Passion. But Braveheart, Apocalypto, And, yep, those are my 3 favorite movies. Patriot. He didn't direct The Patriot, though. I don't think. He's got a new movie coming out soon, and he's working on a sequel to The Passion, which will be interesting. I might like to see that. No, they had some really crappy songs. Although some people like that stuff, so that's subjective. It's crappy to me. Of course, they're historically inaccurate. They're movies. They're not supposed to be accurate. Sometimes what makes a good shot isn't what happened. For example, William Wallace was a madman, but that don't make a very good movie. So they made him a hero. Also, Edward the Bruce never went against England for Scotland in honor of William Wallace. Matter of fact, Edward the Bruce and England were in cahoots together for most of it, in reality. It is a great film about William Wallace, but it's not true. I know it because I've seen it 50 times. 50. Robert the Bruce. It is a great film, though. Very good show. Yes. Did you know that King James was put in office by his cousin Elizabeth, Queen of England? Interesting that. And did you know that all kings and queens since Jacob have been coronated upon the stone of Scone or the stone of Sion or Jacob's pillow that he laid his head on and had a dream about angels coming to and fro from heaven? And then he later erected it as a pillar, and then they came and got it. And then they coronate the kings and queens on that stone. And for a little while, for a couple of 100 years, it was in Scotland, not England. And then people kept trying to steal it. So they took it outside and made a park bench out of it and put it right in front of the castle, right wide out in the open. So the thieves would come in, come up the hill, sit on the bench, get their breath, and then go in to try to steal the stone of Scone, and it wouldn't be there. And they were sitting on it the whole time. They had no idea. Pretty smart. Chain smoker. I'm a chain burner. You see me smoking? But now that you mention it, I just like the smell of it. Most of my cigarettes end up burning up in the ashtray. Keeps my hands busy because I'm hyperkinetic. Got to be doing something. Yeah, I probably smoke a little too much. That's all right. Somebody's got to do something. I don't drink. What do you expect? Man, I got that song stuck in my head so deep. It will not leave me alone. I've been singing it all day long. Must be a good song. I guess I'm going to have to learn it to get it out of my head. Yep, it does it to me. I usually got one stuck in my head of some kind or another. I drive everybody crazy because I'm always beating on stuff. I can't help it. I got the music in my soul. You could use a glass of wine. We'll get you a glass of wine, baby. Ain't nobody stopping you. I got a little wine, but it's for Passover, not for drinking. Not that that would do you any good. But if anybody's near Cheese Bear, somebody bring her some wine. Won't take much either. If I'm understanding the euphemism retreat properly, she's an easy drunk. Lush even. I'm not real crazy about wine. The only wine I've ever tasted that I liked, I drank out of a human skull. And I don't have any idea what kind it was. I asked, but they didn't know. So they won't even let you get a little drink, huh? That's terrible. Trying to poison you to death, but won't let you get a buzz on. I'm not sure I agree with that policy. A nice glass of Malbec would be nice right about now. Well, this wine that I'm talking about was fruity, not like fruit, but like berries. It had like a berry flavor to it, like strawberry, but it wasn't strawberry wine, and it was delicious. Now, I hadn't drank anything all day. I was in a meeting from 6 to 6, so I was, indisposed all day without anything to eat or drink, constant work. So when I drank it, it may have been because I was thirsty. You know how a morsel tastes better than the whole thing? Because it's just a morsel and it makes all your taste buds go crazy. It may be that. But it was literally the best thing I ever put in my mouth. It was delicious. Who knows? I might have to kill somebody and drink it out of their skull to enjoy it. But for whatever reason, that was great wine. And I don't like wine. I've tried it several times and I do not like it at all. But that wine was delicious. And I wish I could find out what it was. I'd probably become a drunk if I did know, because I drank a lot of it. And yes, I realized that I completely glassed over the whole drinking out of a human skull thing. I realized that would raise some questions, but I can't tell you about it, so you're just going to have to use your imagination. You like your wine strong and hearty like you like your men, huh? I like my women like I like my coffee. Disjointed and slightly confusing. No judgment zone. Yeah. Yeah. What I can tell you is that I was knighted at the end of it. That might help. So it wasn't like serial killer activity. That'll help. Rufino Moscato is great, sweet. The dude or the wine? You misspelled it. Well, I got that when you spelled Rufinio. Pretty sure that's not a name. Randolfo, maybe? Oh, no. No, this was dried out and clean. It was human, though. What do I look like? I work for CNN? No brain eating here, buddy. Mm. I did eat a squirrel brain once, but I was young and needed the money. Moscato is very sweet. Too much for me. I don't know what Moscato is, but that may be the kind of wine I had because it was sweet and berry flavored. Ruffino. Somebody told me it was Manischewitz, but I've had Manischewitz, and that's not it. That's not what it was. Manischewitz has a very grapey flavor to it. This was not grape. It might have been strawberry or raspberry or something like that, or mixed berries. It didn't have a defining taste, but it was very fruity and sweet and delicious. It pairs very well with steak. Malbec does. I went to an Italian restaurant once and I asked him for some wine. He asked me what kind, and I said, I don't know because I don't know anything about wine. Give me the best of whatever you have that goes with the dish I ordered. And he brought out a white wine, and it was so bitter and very untasteful. I did not like it at all. So I'm not a wine drinker. I've tried both red and white wine and the one that's in the middle, rosé. And I didn't like any of it except for that one time. And if I ever find out what kind that was, I'll drink it again. Now, what I do like, if we're talking about alcohol, and it's something I like, that would be tequila top shelf. I like that. I mean, I enjoy it. Most alcohol I don't enjoy. It's a chore for me to drink it. I don't like it. I don't like beer. I don't like bourbon or whiskey of any kind. I don't like rum or vodka, but I like tequila. I could drink a lot of that. Red wine's good for the heart. Do you know why? Because of the grapes. A little wine is good for the tummy, meaning the whole digestive system, according to the Bible, believe it or not. So, for all you hard-nosed Christians out there that say the Bible's totally against drinking and you can't be friends with a sinner that goes to bars, you're wrong. Sipping tequila, yes. I usually just shoot it, but yeah. Vodka's your favorite. I used to like screwdrivers when I was young, But then I drank almost a gallon of vodka on a dare and nearly killed myself. And ever since then, I spent an afternoon in the hospital getting pumped and prodded and everything else and getting my liver treated. And I had alcohol poisoning. Ever since then, I can't even tolerate the smell of it. If I smell it, it turns my stomach. It also leaves a weird taste in your mouth afterwards. Vodka straight. Nope. Been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, but did you die? Almost. OMG, tequila horrible coming up, and I was so D. Translation. She doesn't like tequila. Probably because you didn't have top shelf. Cheap tequila does taste horrible, and it burns all the way down. You need some mezcal, baby. Some of that 1800 or better. Top shelf. Yep, it will make you sick. And there ain't nothing like a tequila hangover. Whoa. On my 25th birthday, everybody in the bar, and I was quite popular at the time, everybody in the bar bought me a double shot of tequila for my birthday. And I must have drank 10 or 15 shots before I lost count. And I remember thinking, if I can make it to the door without falling, I'll be all right. And then I spent the next 3 days throwing my guts up and sleeping on the bathroom floor. Beluga Russian vodka? That sounds whalish. No, I ate too many likes and cherries. Translation. Hit that like button. Too many limes and cherries at the same time? That's gross. No wonder you didn't like it. That's two different kinds of fruit. Bitter and sweet. Or tart and sweet. I don't know if they go together. You're supposed to drink tequila with salt and a lime. That's the best way. I prefer lemon, but lime is what comes with it. Okay, I'm done. You're done what? Done in general? Period? With me? With the other guy? With a thumbnail? With the tooth fairy? With typing? Did you save it as a PNG? I use a brandy sniffer to drink tequila. I do not know what a brandy sniffer is. Unless it's a weird dude that catches you off guard. You're going to have to stop playing the pronoun game, Caucasian. I use the bottle to drink. As do most people. I prefer mine in a shot glass, though. It tricks you into thinking you're not drinking so much. So what is a brandy sniffer? Your trophy, Caucasian Sasquatch. You win. Bye-bye. I've never been much of a drinker, though. I tried when I was in my 20s, but it just ain't me. I'm just not a drinker, and I don't do drugs either. Sometimes they do me, but I don't do drugs. But I have a nasty Mountain Dew habit. That's a fact. It's like a tumbler. It has a narrow lip so you can enjoy the aroma of the liqueur, but is a bit wider to increase the bouquet. I'm sorry I couldn't hear you over the rich people talk. That sounds like a bunch of extra stuff. I can see in my head that black guy that's on TikTok. You know, the guy that goes, that guy? Exactly. Short glass, narrow top, wider on the bottom. Sounds like my last ex-wife. I am a collector, you know. I have all shapes and sizes. And ages. And all but one color. And I prefer it that way. I am not a white supremacist. I'm a white enthusiast, but not a white supremacist. But if I were going to drink, it'd have to be tequila. I would like to try Dan Aykroyd's tequila, though. In the Skull. I have a thing with skulls, I know. But you know what I'm talking about? He makes his own, or he has somebody make his own. It's supposed to be really good and top shelf. So I'd like to try that stuff out. And I'd like to have some real mezcal. Mezcal. Had the vowels in the wrong place. Because the real stuff has a worm in it, comes from Mexico. And it's supposed to be powerful. Aged. Don't know. I've only had the American stuff. And I would also like to try moonshine. I had some when I was 14, but I don't remember it. Because I was 14 and I drank a lot of it. Seems like it was very smooth, though. Anybody had any moonshine? I've been thinking about building me a still and making some. Drinking tequila and a sniffer is boss tier. Rich people stuff. Because it was moonshine. Right. That's why I don't remember it. But I'd like to try some as an adult. I'd like to make some for my buddies. I think I'd be good at making it. I probably wouldn't drink very much of it, but I'd love to make some. I get a wild hair every now and then and make stuff. One time I decided I wanted to make spaghetti for real. So I did. I made the noodles and everything from scratch. No iron stomach stuff. My neighbor keeps trying to get me to try their moonshine. Well, try it. You might like it. You might like it. Try it. Or not. You'll never know unless you try, though. I don't know. How clean is their house? What does their car look like? You can tell a lot about a person by the way they keep their shoes, for example. If they are a little unkempt, don't drink their moonshine. Spinach pasta? That's interesting. Are you making the noodles out of spinach or are you adding it to the spinach? Like a creamy kind of thing. Very clean. Well, then you can probably drink their moonshine. You know what I mean? You can tell if they've cut corners or didn't pay close attention when they were making it. By other things. Now, I made mine out of egg and flour and several other things. I don't remember now. It's been a while, but adding it in for color and flavor. Gotcha. Okay. And hung them up to dry. I remember doing that. And I made enough to fill up a pot. I made a whole pot of spaghetti. And made them by hand, rolled them out, did the whole 9 yards like the Italians do. Made the sauce from scratch, all the ingredients, fresh vegetables and meat, and it was delicious. And I've never done it again since. I also picked up canned pears, in the mason jars, and made jam and preserves. I did that one year. That's an undertaking. It takes a long time to make preserves. You make your own flour. How do you make your own flour? You like go out and pick the wheat and stuff, or whatever flour's made out of? It's called gravy. I got you. Hmm. Got a stone mill, or use a mortar and pestle? That's the kind of shit I'd do, just for kicks. I love to learn things. I just don't always do the things I learn after I learn them. I learned to translate Greek one time, spent 6 months on it. Got real good at it and have never done it since. Learned how to play piano because I got bored one time. And I'm a decent piano player. I'm not great by no means. I'm a hell of a guitar player, but I'm an okay piano player. But I learned how. You got a grain mill in your KitchenAid mixer? That's interesting. Hmm. I'm going to have to try that now, not to be outdone. Only this time I'll film it, whatever it is I learn next. Because now I have a TV show to fill. And I'm searching for content, so I'll probably learn something weird here this year. Might do the moonshine thing. I can smelt copper and all that. and sweat it, put it all together. Just need to get some copper. I think I understand how it works too. I think I'd have to do some research, but I think I got a cursory knowledge of how it all goes together. I mean, I know how to make a steam engine. It can't be much different than that. You got to have the coil and the burner and the catcher. And you need corn mash and sugar, some kind of yeast maybe, or that might be beer. I might be thinking of something else. Yeah, probably not the yeast part, but definitely the corn mash part. Got me thinking now. Might be trying something new. Anyway, as I was saying at the beginning of this podcast, I checked the calendar today to see what date it was and realized we were in December. I had no idea. My birthday is in 9 days. So, wish me happy birthday in 9 days. I'll be 86. My mom made 25 gallons of blackberry jelly one year. We picked 100 pounds of blackberries and bought a few buckets too. Yep. I made pears. So I picked pears out of our pear tree I got out here that I honestly don't know if it still produces pears or not, but it did back when I did this. I had about 4 or 5 5-gallon buckets full of pears, and I peeled them all and cut them all up and boiled them down and did all the whole 9 yards and canned them all, made preserves out of them, and then went to the flea market and sold them all. I'm tired, Jake. Et al. Good night to you, brother. Have a good night. You can't solder it. Facts, Jake. I clearly missed something. Oh, come on. Scroll, damn you. Or just tell me again. What were you saying facts, Jake, about? I missed it. And good night, Kevin. And what do you mean you can't solder it? Are you talking about the brass or the copper for a moonshine still? No, you smelt it. You use a torch and a flux and a piece of whatever. I used pears and corn with malted rye. My age? Oh, well, I'll be 86 at some point. I think I'm 47, might be 48. I have to ask my sister. One of the two. I was born in 74. Does that help? In December. So, you know. Can't use flux. Gotcha. Well, how do you put the copper together then? Just fit it tight and hope for the best? Seems like I remember seeing a weld on the moonshine still that I saw. Use cork strips. Gotcha. Any guess on my age? Well, having never heard your voice or seen your face, no. But I'm smart enough to know that's a trick question and I'm not answering it. 14. You can braise but not sweat it. Okay. I'm sure I can do it. I mean, I can sweat, so I don't know why I can't braise. Why? What's the reason behind that? Is it contaminated or something? Can't you wash it out with alcohol or something? Or does the heat bother it or something like that? You use high brass or bronze wire, yeah. I was trying to think of the proper name for what I normally use. I call it solder, but that's not the proper name for it. It's a stick, maybe nickel or something. I don't know what it is. It burns easy, I know that. Flavors the product, okay. Makes sense. Be something I have to look into. So how old are you, Cheese Bear? I'm only asking because you brought it up, not because I'm interested. I'm a man. I know the rules. Sasquatch won't touch that one either. I know, right? Mama didn't raise no fool. That's like a woman saying, does this make my butt look big? I'm sorry, I did not understand the question. If I say yes, does that mean I'm sleeping on the couch? Or at 4 o'clock in the morning, you're going to insult my mother? My wife came in one night and she said, honey, does this make my ass look big? And I said, does this shirt make me look stupid? There are a couple of things a man just don't ask. A woman's age, whether or not she's pregnant, that sort of thing. How far along are you? Oh no, I'm just fat and ugly. Sorry. I know nothing. Okay, we're all in suspense, Cheese Bear. How young are you? I'll take one for the team. Hey, won't you guys do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon so you'll get notifications when I'm going to be here. Smash that like button. We need the numbers. Share this video with somebody you love. Better yet, share it with somebody you don't love. Bring them into the family. Make them part of the fold. Be part of their solutions, not part of their problems. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you're thinking about. Question me, curse me, bless me, challenge me, confront me, conform with me, drink my Kool-Aid. As long as you're thinking, that's what I want. Critical thought coming from that brain of yours. And if you love what I'm doing or you just want to buy me a cup of coffee, how about go to paypal.me/JakeJohnsonBand. Every little bit helps. It's a win-win. It's a blessing for me. It's a blessing for you too because God notices these things. And thank you for your support. Wow. You always introduced Holly as my pregnant wife? Whoa. That narrows it down. Maybe that's why she hated you. Well, she was kind of trolly. You know, I didn't get into that relationship by choice. But she was there and I couldn't make her leave, so. I wonder whatever happened to her, though. Last I heard, she had married a Mexican guy and was living in Georgia, of all places. I thought she was trying to find me because she kept calling my mama every 2 or 3 years. Mama would tell me that she called or wrote a letter or something. I was like, don't tell her where I'm at, for God's sakes. I might never get rid of her again. I done shook her twice. That's hard to do. The last time I gave her my car and sent her to Florida and then disappeared off the face of the earth. I missed that car too. But it was worth it. So somewhere I still own a Datsun B210. Wherever it may be. I gave her a car and $100 bill and said, get the hell out of this state. Don't come back. Jesus. Enough is enough, crazy ass woman. Yep. True love. I met her when I was in Florida. She came to a bar I was playing at and attached herself to me almost immediately. And then I found out that her husband had beat her up and kicked her out and she had a small child. So obviously I took her in and she would not leave. And so she stayed for a while. And finally I'd had enough of her after her being around for about a year. So I sent her to the grocery store to get some groceries. And when she came home, the house was clean and I was in another state, or well on my way to it. And for 5 years I was free of her. And then she calls me on the phone. How'd she get my phone number? My lovely aunt gave it to her. And she called me and said that she was in trouble and needed some help. Her and her son were being chased by these black men, and she didn't know how much longer she could hold out. Would I please help her? And I felt so bad about it that I went to help. And when I got to where I was going, I had to walk, by the way, from Sandersville, Georgia to Bamberg, South Carolina. Walked all the way there. She was not where she said she was, and I walked another town over and found her ass. About 25 miles away from where she said she'd meet me, that she didn't show up at, and didn't live where she said she lived. And found out that she had lost her son like a year or two ago, and he wasn't even in the picture, hadn't been for a while, and there were no threats to her. She just wanted me there. And so I realized that I was trapped again, and I made her ass walk back home with me. And she was there for another 4 years, till I gave her my car and $100 and sent her to a friend's house. And then I moved, and I hadn't seen her since. That's been about 20 years ago. Hey, you probably met her, April. Ugly, troll-looking, blonde-headed chick. Cheesebear said a waitress asked if my now ex-husband was my man or my father. I replied both. I hope that's satirical. Yeah, I'd say you did meet her, April, because she started in Florida when I lived there. And when I finally disappeared, it was from your house or your mom's house. I think you were already married by that time, though, so. It's your mom's house. Anyway, strange. 2 or 3 girlfriends later and wives. Here I am, gray and alone. And I kind of like it that way. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've had a lovely evening tonight. Thank you guys so much for the conversation. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. I hope everybody's having a great night. But alas, I got to get up early in the morning. The look on her face was priceless, says Cheese Bear. I bet it was. Yeah, April, if you met her, you wouldn't forget it. She looked like a troll, literally. Short, dumpy, big nose, unmistakably dotted face. Ugh. Drain the life right out of you, an ugly woman will. Anyway, I got to run, so I love you guys with all my heart, and I will see you on Friday where I'll have a more directional video, and we'll do something important, life-changing, earth-shaking, mind-altering. Definitely underbridge material. Yeah, definitely. I'm with you. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and have a great night. Peace out.